Little Sim World just dropped in early access, and I've got to say, it's pretty amazing. That said, I did hit a few bumps along the way. Nothing game-breaking, but definitely a few things I wish I'd known before diving in. In this video, we'll cover some tips and tricks to avoid those beginner headaches and help you make the most of your early gameplay. A quick disclaimer though, there is no wrong way to play the game. The tips mentioned here are just my advice to myself if I were to start over. And just a gentle reminder, the game will still evolve with future updates since it's still in early access. Huge thanks to the developers for gifting us an early access key. Let's jump into it. First up is to avoid buying subscriptions early in the game. I was honestly so excited getting into the library because, as we learned from playing The Sims, you can learn skills from reading a skill book without having to buy skill-specific furniture. And I think it's a pretty good idea too, because in this game, the lower your skill is, the more instances you experience an artist's block and/or writer's block. So, do manage your expectations that it will take a while, but as you increase your skill level, those instances will lessen. Going back to the subscriptions, they are fairly cheap, but try your best to hold off on them and just proceed with the main story quests because they will give you free subscriptions for both the library and the gym pretty early on, so just keep going. Speaking of free things, you can explore the town and find that there is a lot of stuff available for you to use for free. Like the drinking fountain available in parks around town, with the nearest one just below your home. I know, a water bottle is just 1 gold, but with its limited quantity per machine and the plastic bottle it produces once you consume them, I find that it helps a lot at the start, what with the limited space in your inventory. Other free items to use are the easel in the park and the arcade machines in the pub. Using these will save you some money early on since you won't have to buy low-level furniture to start painting or gain faster happiness. My second mistake is not considering the additional delivery fees and shipment time when buying furniture and appliances. Yes, you heard that right. Little Sim World has those. So no, when you make a purchase, there will be extra cost and you won't be able to get the furniture right away. I do recommend to just craft the furniture. It is not only cheaper, but you will get the furniture right away. You can acquire materials by recycling your trash, like the plastic bottles, or by buying them from the DIY shop. Here's an example. This flusher toilet costs $550, and with delivery fees and shipment, it will not only cost more, but you will have to wait for about 2 days to get it. But if you craft this, you will only need 10 plastic components, 5 wood components, and 1 golden component. And let's say you don't have anything from recycling, you would have to buy the components from the shop. Plastic, metal, and wooden components all cost 20, while the golden component costs 100. Crafting the flusher toilet will only require 400. You will unlock more crafting recipes as you and your crafting skill levels up. And while I usually go for aesthetics, I do want to mention, and it is obvious, but the higher the level of the furniture, the better the stats it gives. For example, this level 2 bathtub already gives happiness when you use it, compared to level 1, which doesn't give any. My third mistake is not completing the weekly challenge for the career tasks. I know, this is already pretty obvious, but with all the main story quests and the university, it can get a bit challenging. Still, try your best because doing the career tasks will net you more money aside from the main story quests, especially interests that will let you create a product. While I really enjoyed cooking because of the grocery experience, I find that I earn more in painting because not only can you sell it directly, but you can put it up for auction, where you can get 200% more of the original price. It can be a gamble though, since I did get only 40% that one time. To put your painting up for auction, you would need painting or visual arts level 5. Make sure you have it in your inventory and use the phone booth scattered around town. The nearest from your home would be between the pub and the park below your home. It does take days though, so for a faster return on investment, fishing is pretty good. as fish can sell for a pretty decent amount at the pawn shop. Going back to the career task, remember that you can set your task preferences to make sure you'll receive tasks related to your preferred interests. Aside from money, this is also a good way to increase your level or city reputation. With so many things to do and so little time, I find myself running around everywhere. And that is my next mistake. You see, the town is quite large, but running around not only reduces your energy, but also your hunger, thirst, and hygiene bars. I know it's a time management issue, but one thing you should also consider is using the available public transportation, the bus. It's kind of the game's fast travel option, but with a schedule. On weekdays, it's available every 30 minutes from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and every hour from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on weekends. You can check on the map the different bus stops it can take you. Although it's not as convenient as I would have liked, I love the immersion of this feature. Little London, or the town, does not have any loading screens, so I love how I can just run from corner to corner, so it took me a while to even consider using the bus. It does charge you after all. But if you do get to the bus station, you will still have to wait for the bus, and when you do get on, you'll be transported to the bus stop of your choosing without any time penalty. Instant teleportation. Moving on to my fifth mistake, which is not considering clothing buffs. I mentioned this earlier, but I mostly play via my aesthetics. But with how the world is in this game, weather is not just for ambience, it affects your health and mood. So, when it's hot, wear lighter clothes, and when it's raining, wear raincoats or something similar. Aside from that, other buffs will help you slightly gain specific skills a bit faster, and some needs will decrease a bit slower depending on your outfit. For casual, knowledge, cooking, and art skills will increase faster, and happiness loss is slower. For athletic, fitness and strength skills will increase faster, and hygiene and thirst loss is slower. For sleep, comfort and bladder loss is slower. For formal, increased friendship point and comfort loss is slower. For wetness increases slower. For cold, increased base temperature by a small amount. For heat, reduced base temperature. To get to the next level, you would need to reach the number stated here. So, to get the most out of this is to consider getting accessories and outfits with multiple tags. And speaking of outfits, there's a free random outfit at Banana 21 every weekend, so don't miss out on that. I find that cozy life sims are the perfect escape when things get a bit hectic, and whether it's fishing, cooking, or hanging out with a cast of unforgettable characters, these games are all about finding your happy place.